right. I am recording now because I wanted to get that yawn.
Yeah.
It's a little later. Is this the latest we've ever done an episode?
I think so.
Probably.
It's
After dark.
It's always after
dark.
It's always after dark, though.
It's not always after dark. But this is the after dark episode.
The movie rubric After Dark. I wish...
We wasted on Suzume.
I was actually going to say, I wish we had a spicier movie to do than the movie we're doing, because this is a really boring After Dark movie.
It's true.
Man,
Out of what we've done, what would be our best After Dark movie?
the menu.
The Menu?
The Menu or The Whale? Probably The
The
Menu.
Whale. Oh, yeah. The Whale got a little too serious.
Yeah.
Almost.
The menu.
We had to do it during the day or we would have just left depressed again.
Well, we did... I'm trying to remember which one we did first. I think we recorded Puss in Boots and then The Whale, right?
No,
No,
the
it's
other
it was
way.
the other way around.
Yeah, I just remember it was really weird going from like the emotions being on opposite ends of the spectrum and trying to just flip it. It was weird.
It was a weird day in general because we watched the 2 movies in the same day too. So it was just like back to back ish, 2 opposite ends of the spectrum on movie watch day, and then 2 reviews too.
I'm very glad that we watched Puss in Boots first, because I think if we had went into the theater,
We didn't.
We did
Wait,
not.
what?
No,
We
I'm
watched the
remembering
whale.
that day all wrong.
You did.
Completely
He's like, I'm
backwards.
glad that we did that, but we never
we
did that.
did not.
Oh, well, I'm a little
What
stupid.
world do you live in?
Not this one, apparently. I'm just backwards.
Yeah, no.
I'm going to segue. I'm a segue. You guys ready to start?
Yeah, we're ready to start.
Alrighty. I am Timothy McDaniel.
Cool, right?
And I'm Josh Glass.
And this is the movie rubric. And this week we went and saw Makoto Shinkai's newest film, Suzume.
It's time to do.
And it was. That was really good.
That was good.
Did you? Hold on. I know Cole. Cole's practiced that all day.
Actually, I
He's
did
been
not.
thinking about it. He's like, I've got my
I only
opportunity
that only
to
entered my
shine.
mind like, you know what? I gotta make a funny like, oh, it's an anime reference, but it's not the right anime. That's pretty funny. Give us money.
Support us.
Yeah. Find us on
One-
OnlyFans.
I'm once again asking for your support. We're gonna sell Jonah's feet pics.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to start an OnlyFans, right? And just sell like really uncomfortable pictures of like my upper hip. That's all it's going to be. The little muffin top that hangs over your belts a little bit.
I'm gonna
My OnlyFans title is going to be McMuffin.
no, hear me. I'm gonna do an OnlyFans. What's in my belly button today?
You got to pay extra for a picture.
Yes.
Man. Wow. Instantly off rails.
This
I
is
love
the
it.
After Dark
This is
episode.
the After Dark episode where we all discuss what would your OnlyFans content be?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't thought about it like you two have.
You don't think about it, it just comes to you. You just know what your OnlyFans would be.
Yeah. I don't know.
Wow.
I got no,
Wow.
nothing good.
I'm going to come back to you at the end
Plumber's
of the episode. I want
crack.
to know
Yeah,
what your
there you
OnlyFans
go.
would be. So no, we went and saw Makoto Shinkai's Suzume. I think I said all of that right. My Weebanese is a little weak still from time to time.
Lebanese.
He is the
I think it's
person.
called Japanese.
No, you're wrong. He is the person who is probably most known for the movie Your Name, which we did watch at a movie night, which did not get good reviews.
It was one of Cole's favorite movies at movie night.
What's your name?
Shut up. That is a 10 out of 10 movie.
No, that's what you
We
think.
did watch it in English though too.
We
so-
watched it in English.
Well, we know that's the superior version.
We watched it in
Squid
English.
Game.
There
Sometimes.
were things going on that week, and I remember everyone was super tired. It was just a bad,
It was also one of the first ones we did. It was like
yeah. It was
first
just
2 or 3.
a really bad time to watch it. Maybe I'll put that one back in.
Yeah.
at some point.
Everybody will just have forgotten.
It's true.
I won't.
He did follow it up with a sequel, Weathering with You, which was, in my opinion, probably even a little bit better. It was phenomenally well received. So I was super looking forward to this movie. But I love anime. Josh, you've kind of recently dipped your toe into the pool of weebdom
A little bit, yeah. Yeah.
a little bit. Cole was molded by the pool and he got out. He doesn't want to admit it, but the fact that he just opened with a Yu-Gi-Oh reference.
That's about all the anime I know.
Yeah. He was born in the pool. He crawled out of it, and now
Yeah.
he looks at us from like across the way and judges.
He snubs his nose at us.
I tried it,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
and then you took me to this movie. It was a film.
It
I
was
can't
a
It
confirm.
was a flick.
It was a film. So on that note, I mean, we can open with that. We usually try to tell the audiences, thumbs up or down, should they go see this movie. I was going to wait a little bit, but Cole, you're kind of segueing into it. I'm fine with that. I'll start with you, Cole. Should audience go see this film?
If you like anime, sure. If you kind of or don't, thumbs down. Don't go see it.
I'm gonna hot take here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually gonna say no.
Yeah.
I love anime, so I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum here from Cole. If you love Makoto Shinkai, I would say go see it. If a theater around you is showing it, yeah, maybe go see it, but don't go out of your way. And it's not playing in every theater, so you're kind of gonna have to go out of your way. We had to go to a crappy theater to watch it, right? I would say wait to stream it. There are some really good elements to the movie, but I wouldn't say it's worth going out to see.
I would agree to an extent. I thought the animation was really good. It was a beautiful movie.
Phenomenal.
And so because it is kind of a special event, tickets were kind of cheap. They weren't your typical Friday, Saturday night ticket prices. So if you got nothing else going on and you like good animation,
Yeah.
then why not? But if you don't care about animation, you're just looking for a good movie, then I
Yeah.
would say wait to stream it if you're that interested.
And in addition to the great animation, the soundtrack was also really good.
Yes, that too.
But I have to say, the soundtrack, listening back to it, pales in comparison to his other two. You and I were talking about it at Applebee's. You also really appreciated the soundtrack.
I did, yeah.
I really think at some point we should go back and watch the other two. His other two movies, and I don't want to spoil anything for either of those movies, but they have these moments in the film that is definitely supposed to be the climax. And this movie has that moment. This is the climax, right? And in both of those movies, it is scored so well that when I go back and listen to the soundtrack, I can like see the movie playing in my head. Went back and listened to the soundtrack for this one, and I can't tell which one is supposed to be the one that plays during the big ending one. It just feels like Radwimps is the band that did it. Feels like maybe they just dropped the ball a little bit on having that big, huge climactic song.
They wasted it on all the other like hype events that
Yeah.
that we'll get into later once we get into spoilers.
Yeah, lots of really good stuff in this movie. It is a okay movie with really good moments. Is how I would describe it.
I would say so. It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, it has some
decent
has
parts.
really good comedy from time to time that we'll get into. Like I laughed a lot. I'll say I laughed a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
Normally, so the thing I specify anime, but really anime just means animation. Technically, to Japanese people, Disney is anime. There's no difference to them.
So that's good.
But you know,
Ouch. Okay.
I would say in America though,
We mean
anime means Japanese animation.
Japanese animation, and it has come to take on certain qualities that over the years, anime has these qualities. And some anime turn the anime meter up to 10, right? This one didn't turn it up to 10 on the weirdness, but it did turn it up to 11 on the like super over-exaggerated feelings, to the point that even I, a certified soaking in the pool, I've got the prunes, right? With anime, even I was cringing a couple times. That's like,
Yeah.
okay, we get it. Like friendship and love. Yeah, like cool. Like move on.
Rebellion and all this stuff.
Yeah. It was a little too much even for me.
Yeah.
I'll be the first to admit that as the weeb connoisseur here at the table. So that's why I think I would say, unless you just really love Makoto Shinkai, maybe wait on this one.
Yeah.
That being said, do we want to jump into talking about the movie?
Probably need to.
I think so. I don't really
I'll
have
say
much else to
spoiler
say.
though, there is not one blue eyes white dragon in this movie.
There what? Well, hold up. There's I would say there is a thing that has blue eyes and kind of looks like a dragon.
I mean,
It didn't have blue eyes, did it?
I think it did.
Tyler, I don't trust you
Hold
after
on.
you didn't know what order we watched
Spoiler
Puss in Boots
alert.
so well.
Spoiler warning. Okay. I'm going to spoil the movie. Whenever the second cat that gets introduced
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
turns into the giant dragon, did it not have blue eyes?
It was just a giant cat.
Yeah.
A
That's
giant cat
That's
dragon.
not
Did
a
it have blue
It had huge giant dragon whiskers and a
Oh,
giant
it's a
dragon tail. and
cat.
was
It was
lanky.
dragon-esque, but it was a cat.
I mean, it's supposed to be a Japanese god.
No, I'm
and
not.
most of their gods are like, oh, I shouldn't say that. I know nothing about Japanese mythology. I only know
He
what
was about to give a lesson.
I only know
what anime
I only know
told
what
you.
anime has taught me. Hold on, let me go grab my samurai sword off the wall while I start spitting.
He's got the samurai bun in right now. He's ready to go.
I feel as if many of their caricatures of things like that I've seen have dragon-like qualities to them, even if not a dragon. I don't know. You could squint at it wrong and pretend it's a dragon.
Yeah, that's
Squint,
true.
is that a Japanese joke?
Oh,
I wasn't going to go there.
Cole.
Ouch. Okay, we just
That
got
thought didn't even cross my mind.
After dark.
we just got canceled.
Boom. What? There's like 3 people that watch and
Okay.
or listen, whatever they do.
While we're dunking on the Japanese, I was worried this episode would be boring. I think it's going to be too spicy.
Yeah.
While we're dumping on the Japanese, I normally love how much effort even a low quality film or show will put into its voice acting. Japan has tons of voice acting schools. It's ridiculous. You could watch the trashiest anime of the year on Crunchyroll, and the voice acting is going to blow you away. It's like, wow, they put too much money into this. That being said, they made a choice at the beginning of the movie that made me very uncomfortable with the little girl running through the field.
Oh yeah, that we looked at each other during the
I don't know if
opening.
maybe Josh is squinting at us. It was, and I don't think they meant for it to. I think it's a cultural thing, and it wasn't intended this way. But it sounded very sexual.
Okay. I have to go
Like,
back and rewatch this clip because I did not pick up on
I'm
that.
not gonna try to mimic the noises because I will get clipped.
Here's what happened during it. The movie started.
It's black, right? It's a
No
black screen.
context. I looked at Tyler like, what have you brought me to?
Oh, it was like huffing and
Huffing,
yeah.
And
and-
moaning a little bit.
That's
and-
the thing.
And
Yeah,
it
like
was a child.
a child.
When the screen finally was not black.
And I don't think it was supposed. It clearly, definitely wasn't
Yeah.
supposed to be sexual.
yeah. It sounded like it.
But
though.
it sounded very inappropriate.
kind of sounded like one of those videos that you play and it tells you to turn your volume all the way
Yeah,
up to
like
hear
literally.
hear the squeak, and then it's like just
And anime
You know.
gets dumped on for that every now and then. You'll see like a Reddit or like just like something get posted, and it's like why you can't listen to anime without headphones, and you'll get like girls jogging, and it's not supposed to be inappropriate, but it turns inappropriate.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. I looked at Cole and I was trying because I'm thinking I drug Cole to this movie.
like your anime, like you're trying to sell me on this here,
Yeah.
and this
So-
is what I get.
I was trying not to look at him because I was like, I have drug Cole out to this film.
I
and
was
it's-
full on looking at you like, why?
I'm sorry.
guys, get your minds out the gutter. I didn't even think about it till you brought it up.
Yeah. Well,
Didn't
we're
even
kind of
cross
the
my
worst.
mind.
I wonder how the English version handled it. I'm interested to compare.
Probably better.
Maybe.
I think there was a dub at the movie theater that we went and saw.
What? There was
Hold on.
Wait, there was a
It
dub.
was a different time.
It was a
but
different
yes.
time. It started later.
I think so.
So I think it started at like 9.
Yeah, and it was like a 2-hour
Yeah.
plus movie.
So I bought the earlier time
Okay. Yeah.
and I didn't even realize what was what. I just said, "Oh, this time is sooner." So I bought
Okay,
it.
that's more forgiving.
Yeah.
Say if they were at the same time and there was a dub option,
How funny would it be if they were like you could hear the English through the wall?
That's funny.
Theater
like
next to you going on.
you made me read.
Yeah.
Get over it. You're a teacher. You got to read for a living, don't you?
I mean, true, but doesn't mean I want to do it on my free time.
To. No, you're good.
Oh, I was trying to push it your way.
Yeah.
I
My
don't know.
headphone extension just has a short, so every now and then,
Oh,
if it's not the right way, I lose an ear.
I got you.
Nothing's cut around here.
Yeah. I got called out on Facebook by a friend recently who tagged me in something of Vilma dropping her glasses. That's like, my glasses, I can't hear without my subtitles. And I even on non-anime things will watch with subtitles.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much mumbling in nowadays things that it's like, and just dialogue I don't get. Like, and I have to rewind it, and that's so annoying.
Well, and the fat person in me is also chomping on chips, and you can't hear the TV.
I was about to
okay?
say the same thing. You gotta like eat popcorn or chips or something, right? And just
Crunchy's just too loud.
Yeah, Crunchy's too loud, and you can't hear what the TV is.
Yeah,
Slurping on your big swig from the local Mach 1.
Yep.
yeah. So I watch everything with subtitles. So for me, that's not a hard barrier to entry.
No, it's not bad.
But I get like if you have to rely on them and you're not used to having to rely on them, it could be challenging. I get that.
I do like Tyler mentioned it earlier. I kind of started watching Attack on Titan. Well, actually, I've watched everything except the most recent stuff that's come out, and I do prefer the English over that because there's so much that's happening in that show that I feel like if I can hear it and see it, like because I watch it with subtitles in the English too, I just pick up on so much more context and what's happening than just reading the dialogue.
And that's okay. I I will go. First off, I refuse to wait because I don't want to be spoiled on anything. And if anyone is watching Attack on Titan with us right now, you know what we're talking about. Like, it's spoiler city on the internet. But two, I would love to later, maybe after this, I'll pull up a clip of the English versus the sub and let you listen. And I don't know. I feel like, once again, the Japanese actors are blowing it out of the park whenever it comes to some of their line delivery. Yeah. Not to say that the English, like Matt Mercer's in there. He's doing a great job as Levi. He's killing it. But it's just, I feel like when you get characters yelling in English, it's cringy. But when they yell in Japanese, it's cool. And maybe that's the weeb in me.
I think that might just be the weeb in you.
But I think it feels different.
Yeah.
Other things about the movie, I have to say, Cole, you're I made this joke at Applebee's. You're getting lapped by a chair, dude.
I mean, got 3 legs. What can I?
Are you saying he's beating you because of his disability?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought he was making a different joke.
Oh, well.
Get your mind out of the gut. It's after dark.
It's
though.
after dark.
It's after dark. I see what you mean there. Also, he was an adult and she was a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grooming.
So
You can't say crap about Thornbirds.
I'm not gonna.
Can't say crap.
I'm not gonna defend the movie here. Like, I think it's significantly more appropriate than the Thornbirds of Blue Lagoon. Like,
It's illegal either way.
the Thornbirds, the guy was like 30 and she was 6.
Yeah.
That's grooming. This one is just pedophilia. There's a
That's just better. That's just
there's a difference.
Gidget.
Yeah. Also, Josh, I
Wait,
think
isn't this plot just Gidget?
no.
I don't think so. She
Gidget
didn't
was-
once get stuck in seaweed.
Yeah. No one drowned. In
You know
this.
what? That's what we're missing. We got stinking worms, no seaweed.
Yeah. Speaking of the worms, did you think that the worm looked like anything?
Yes.
Phallic. Yeah. I did.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Definitely
a
looked
big
like-
old penis
Just
in
a
the
couple
sky.
times. Yeah.
Like
Every time it was there.
weird choice, but okay.
Penis in the sky keeps on turning.
We're gonna get the little expletive on our.
No, I agree with you. No, that's what I actually made.
That animation choice was weird.
I had a thought in my head
Tell me, no one looked at
when
it.
he said like it's only the head. Like if the body wakes up, and I was like, if the body is two big balls, I won't even be shocked.
No, it was just a big old pile of crap, is what it looked
It really
like.
was. It
Yeah.
was a big turdlet.
It was, yeah.
Just that I didn't like to look at the whole worm at all.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
worm was not menacing.
I
It
wasn't
was
threatened.
weird.
Yeah.
You know what would have been threatening? A blue-eyed
Blue
white
eyes
dragon.
white dragon.
Let's write Makoto Shinkai right now. Let's
Like,
write him
I
an
want
email.
more Kaiba, more Yugi. Pegasus
You
should
just
have been.
want a Yu-Gi-Oh movie.
I
Cole.
do. Another one. Run it back.
Yeah.
Why not? No, Josh, I was right there with you. I wasn't going to say it, but I was thinking it during the movie, and I was already like, I'm embarrassed. It's like, man, I made my friends come watch this movie.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm really excited for this movie, guys.
I was. Listen, I promise you, no one's more upset than I am.
I mean,
right?
I feel this because I had the same thought during Space Jam 2.
Yeah, this is my Space Jam 2. It's like a sequel to something I love,
Yeah.
and it's not amazing.
Yeah.
It's okay. Cole in my office earlier, we were talking before the podcast. He called it Suzume.
Suzume. Yeah.
And
it
I
is.
think
It's pretty good.
That's the best moniker for it.
Yeah.
The chair, though, I started to go into it. The chair, while a weird thing, well, once again, the anime dial, we're turning it up.
Yeah.
But I liked the chair. I thought it
didn't
was
hate it.
funny.
It
It's
was
the
interesting.
best part of the movie.
Yeah.
That or Sosita's friend. I really liked him. He was
He
probably my
was pretty
favorite
cool.
character.
Yeah.
His comedy was pretty good.
He was good. He was really nice. There was a lot of good comedy in this.
There
And I
was.
thought that a lot of the comedy with the chair was good. The chair was well animated, which can't be super easy to do, right? It was a pretty detailed
It's like
chair.
3 animators for the chair, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
They
and,
each took a leg.
and it was like a mix of CG and not CG, which was kind of cool.
You proud of that joke, John?
I am. 3 animators. They each took a leg. It's good.
No, the animation was great on the chair, and the chair was funny. I think you brought up like, isn't it? It might be Sota. I think was the one guy's name. I don't remember.
I don't know.
Sokka.
It's Japanese.
I don't speak Japanese.
Sora. I don't know.
Yeah.
Naruto. Where's he at?
Yeah. It was probably Sasuke.
I think it was Sodasa. I think is what she kept saying.
I
I think so.
think it was Sota, and she was probably saying like Sota-san.
Maybe.
Either way, the Weeb movie's coming out. Moving on. I did love how every person we met in this movie I liked. Like, she's traveling across Japan through the events of closing all these doors. She's meeting people, and then something I really like, and this is common for Shinkai's works, is like we're living like in their shoes just a little bit. We're kind of seeing their day-to-day life, and I think that may have been the message of the movie, is just protecting the day-to-day. I don't know. It's hard. It was hard to get a beat on the message.
Yeah, I couldn't really. It was like, embrace your teen rebellion.
Couldn't follow.
That's what I got.
There was teen rebellion.
It was most of the movie.
Yeah, but like the teen rebellion, I think was the train that got us to like the things about doors, right?
Mm-hmm.
And every time they are closing a door, I have another tangent about the doors. Every time they're closing a door, it's about remember the people that lived here, and they never were doing something super cool. It was going to school.
It was mundane stuff.
Enjoying the bathhouse, enjoying a Ferris wheel. And it's about the day-to-day life. And then through that process, she travels, and we see a person who delivers peaches. We see a woman who lives above a bar. We see, just things like that. So I think the idea was like, protecting day to day and like enjoying and appreciating it, and it could be taken away at any moment. I don't know. That's the problem. Like, it's hard to say. I think it was so close to having a really good message.
It just didn't
didn't.
produce it. It didn't just lay it out there for you.
Mm-hmm. Which is upsetting.
Yeah.
Because all of his, you guys haven't watched this other two. You technically watched Your Name, Josh, but you were asleep through
I
most
was
of it.
asleep through most of it. Yeah.
Most of his other movies all feature a coming of age, either through rebellion or something. Coming of age, technology, and like bringing people together, and like usually a desire to like move to the city. It's just kind of influenced in there somewhere. Like a country bumpkin moves to the city. That happens in all of his films. They definitely feature technology in this one, but not near as heavy as the other ones. But it was there. They were using Instagram to track the cat and things like that. So
Lots of Google Maps.
and I thought that was
the dang earthquake alarm.
the earthquake alarm.
Every 2 minutes.
Can we talk about how they were at least like moderately in tune? Like, can you imagine if everyone like had a different model phone and they were all different alarms? How awful that would be.
It was probably based on that stock, when we all get the same alert where it just.
But they did it so many times.
kind of
So
egregious.
many times.
Yeah. But
What was your pick on the doors?
too much door closing.
I agree.
The first one, kind of cool. We got some cool animation. She's running on the water. There's like worm penises flying at her everywhere.
Sure this isn't hentai.
It was kind of cool. The second door they closed, I was like, all right. Like, the next one, they're probably not going to get closed. Like, or something's going to go wrong. Mm-hmm. But they closed it.
Well, the
And then
third one was the Ferris wheel.
Yeah, she
which
kind of was in
something
it.
wrong.
She was
But they still got it, though.
say there was no real danger there.
We closed a total of 4 doors. Like, by the time I got to the third door, I was like, I want to be invested in this scene, but this is getting old. Like, it almost feels like padding. I don't know what they could have done differently. I think I would have appreciated it more if we closed the first door. We're not sure where the second door's at. And then the movie builds up to them finding the big door.
Who directed this?
Makoto Shinkai.
You sure that isn't translation for James Cameron for that padding?
He does do a lot of lens flare effects in his anime. So maybe you're not wrong. Maybe you're onto something. Maybe that's his pen name. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe James
He's a
Cameron's
pseudonym.
living over there in a studio in Japan making all these films. I don't know. There were no blue people in this one.
That's true. Yeah, no.
That's how he sucks you in until the sequel comes out and there's gonna be a blue people all over the place.
Everywhere. Everyone's blue. So yeah, just too many door closings. It got old.
Yeah. The Never After was weird, or whatever that was called.
Yeah.
Because it was like, it's this mystical place you can't go to. Nobody knows where it's at. You can't get to it. And then all of a sudden the grandpa's like, oh, but there is one door, and it's right down the road.
Oh, to be fair, that door was on the other side of the country.
Was
they had
it?
to drive there with what's his face that you liked. She leaves the hospital. Her mom.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It was like 7 hours.
It
away.
was a
Never
journey,
mind.
but it doesn't make it better though. You're right.
Yes.
like-
Why say like there's no way to get in there except for this one thing?
Apparently, she somehow accidentally gotten there as a kid,
Yeah,
which is why she could go back there.
really dumb.
I think the idea of having the movie open with what we think is her mom turning out to actually be her would have been a cool twist if the things leading up to it had made more sense.
Yeah.
It almost makes me like, it's based on some Japanese mythos that I know nothing about.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if I was to go read it, would I maybe understand it more? The problem is, I don't want to read it. I really don't. And the movie should do a better job of conveying it instead of making you go do homework.
Yeah. Except it was probably made with the intention of a mainly Japanese audience that would probably get it.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
I have seen some like middling things from like on review sites from just everyone across the board. That being said, critics loved this movie.
Really?
Once again, critics.
Not surprising.
You
Critics love
don't
it.
know jack.
But the audience score is a 96 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Once again, audience. You don't
know anything.
Like normally we see the opposite. Critics and audiences love this movie.
I mean, was the audience a bunch of teenage girls? Because I
Maybe.
think that
They would love that.
Teenage girls would have loved this story.
perhaps
I
don't
told my
know.
wife if it was in English, she probably would have liked
and
the
was
story.
made by Pixar.
No, I think she would have liked the movie because of the cute cats and the banter and the comedy. I think she would have enjoyed it.
She
Speaking
would
of
probably love Weathering with You. Like honestly, if we were to ever go back and watch that one, the cat was awesome. What were we saying? Sorry.
speaking of the second cat, why wait forever to introduce the second cat?
So
And I'm
there's
not even sure where it came from.
so there's like
It's like this big reveal, like, oh my gosh, but it's like,
yeah, there's like 2 keystones, right?
yeah, but
But
why not make it a big deal with the other cat?
but in order for the one cat to come out, she had to thaw the keystone.
Yeah,
So how'd the other cat get there?
I don't know.
I don't either. It didn't.
And how did the
Oh.
one being out, release it, but then the other one left and it didn't leave.
So maybe the fact that the head was getting out was the fact that the other keystone had been undone
Yeah, maybe.
and needed to be stabbed into the worm. So maybe the old man was being like, "Hey, it's been a long time since I've seen you. Go finish what we started. Get stabbed into the worm." I can maybe wrap my head around that, but it wasn't set up. It wasn't discussed, and if it wasn't discussed well enough that I could pick up on it.
The cat that the grandpa talked to was the white cat.
No, it
the
wasn't.
original Keystone, wasn't it?
It was the black one, the one that the grandpa talked to in the window. He looked over and he's like, "Oh, it's been a long time." That was the black cat.
Oh.
Was
guess
it?
I thought it was the white cat.
I
No,
thought
it's the black one. Because I thought it was the white cat, but we were seeing its silhouette. Is what I thought was happening.
okay.
But it had green eyes. and
That's
then
right.
Later,
It just showed its eyes. I forgot about that.
yeah. So
Still, like, you waited all this time to introduce another character. Like,
Yeah. It's a pretty
Weird.
important character, too.
yeah, like, that's essential to the plot there.
yeah, it
Now-
was odd.
When her aunt was freaking out with her, like screaming at her, losing her crap, telling her to get out of her house, she said, "Who or what is this?" Didn't she say the cat's name? So, like, was she possessed by the cat?
That's how I gathered, but the aunt was aware that she said those things.
But then the aunt felt remorse for saying the things.
I
Like,
felt weird about that too. I thought it was like the aunt was just having a breakdown.
I did
but
too,
then the
but then
more
she
I thought
said the
about
name.
it, yeah, the more I thought about it, I was like, was the cat part of it, or was the cat just there? Once again,
Weird choice.
She
I
didn't
think-
give a lot of context.
there's a lot of stuff that might have went wrong in the writing room. I don't know what got cut
Yeah.
or what was intended, but you're right. Like it was poor. And
It was weird.
I made this comment at Applebee's. Normally, his setup, his like foreshadowing is phenomenal. Like when I go back and watch Your Name, when I go back and watch Weathering with You, I see so many little clues that I didn't see on my first viewing. But now that I know what's coming, it's like, oh my gosh, they set up even that little tiny thing that was there. And I feel like maybe I'll go back and watch this one and see some of that. But I don't think I'm gonna. I think it's not gonna hit the same. I think
Yeah.
there was poor foreshadowing, just no foreshadowing in some
Yeah.
cases.
What are the rules for melting the keystone? I feel like those are a little inconsistent as well.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's like you touch it one time and it melts, and then she touched the first time he melted.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that just unmelt him again? But it didn't.
Yeah, it was weird because it was like every time he was falling asleep and he wasn't like interacting with somebody, he was turning into the keystone. And then he just formed into the keystone and got shoved in the thing, and it was like so hard to pull him out. But the first one,
It was right outside
she
the
was
door.
just like whoop, and
Yeah.
it just melted in thin air and it was gone.
A lot of
It was
issues there.
weird.
Doesn't make sense. I'm with you. Listen, I'm not going to defend it. Like
Yeah.
it's not good.
Continuity is low.
Continuity is a pretty low one. Yeah.
It's getting to Mithrigan levels here of continuity.
I'm not going to disagree.
Yeah.
Like, is that bad?
It has a lot of issues.
And once again, I really wanted to like this movie. That's what makes it so bad. I was hoping, right, in my little weeb brain up here, I was like, I'm glad they're coming with me.
Yeah.
This movie's going to be great, and it's going to, like, make them maybe... No, it had the opposite effect. I was worried. I was like, they're never going to watch anime again.
Doubling down.
I'm pretty open to whatever, so...
If it makes you feel better, take it from me. It wasn't good. Like, don't set this as a bar, right? Like, don't look at this as a reference material. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. One of the prettiest movies I've seen in ever.
That rolling shot of her going down the hill with the city and the sea, I was like, oh my gosh.
So good.
I could watch that on loop for like at least a solid 10 minutes probably.
And I'm the pickiest eater in the world, but anime food looks so
That did look really good.
Anime food looks so good.
Whatever the heck they're eating, that stir fry with the eggs.
Oh my gosh, it looked awesome.
She put like peanut butter or something in it or something weird.
Yeah.
Don't matter. I don't
remember what it was, but
I don't know what it was.
It did look good.
Yeah, it looked so good.
Wanted to eat some sushi after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The other thing that was weird was the dude that had the obvious crush on the aunt. He just was like, he was an odd character. Like he would show up, crush really hard, but he never did anything.
He simped hard.
He went past hard.
Was there really a point to have him in there?
No. Like I thought he was going to go on this grand adventure with her to like
sacrifice
find
himself
Suzume
or whatever.
And like did nothing. He wanted to, but he just didn't.
I will defend him and his purpose. I think he was there because multiple comments are made about how the aunt has money and the aunt is really good looking. I don't know why she's single. And then she makes the comment about how it's because she spends all her time worrying about raising me. Mm-hmm. I think that was there whenever the aunt has her breakdown and like is like, I never even wanted you. I think that guy is there as proof that actually isn't really the case. Like, she clearly has suitors, but she's more concerned about her relationship and raising Suzume than she is a relationship. Mm. So I think that was his purpose, was to show that, like, she is wanted, but she chooses not to for her family. That's how I interpreted it. I think he is one of the few elements to me that actually did make sense from a nuanced storytelling perspective.
I guess so. I just feel like he had some like dialogue that like presented itself to be like they're going to go on this big adventure, find Suzume and fall in love.
Maybe.
I clearly thought that was going to be a subplot.
But Josh, that would be if we were worried about whether adults fall in love. We don't care about that.
Yeah,
we care about whether high school girls fall in love.
No, high school girls and a chair fall in love.
And a chair.
And
three legs.
Each
with their own animator.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a little weird. And here's the thing, like, I'm not going to defend it. You see it all the time in anime, though, and it does every now and then verge on uncomfy. Yeah. It's a cultural difference. I'm not going to pretend I understand it or, like, can defend it. But it was less creepy in this movie than some other things I've seen. I've turned off other things before where it's like, oh, and I'm going to skip this one. Okay, moving on. Roll back. I think for what it's worth, this one...
It did a decent job at it. It was just fun to poke fun at it.
It ended on a hug.
Yeah.
Like the ending of the movie ended on a hug, like instead of like a kiss or wedding bells. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Makes me feel a little bit more comfortable about it.
Also, I'm going to inquire on your weeb brain.
Oh no.
Did you get like lesbian vibes from Suzume and some of the teenage girls that she encountered? I felt like they were like almost more than friends at some point.
No.
Really?
No.
I thought maybe they're just extra friendly in Japanese culture. I don't know. It just felt weird to me.
I didn't personally. Maybe that was intended. Who knows? I don't know. Like a lot of their characters and things are a lot more like openly or fluid than a lot of our characters are over here. So maybe, I don't know. I didn't pick up on it though. I don't
know. I just felt like there were some weird vibes sometimes.
Yeah. Nope. Sorry. My weeba brain did not pick up on any Yuri in any of that.
Well, I guess you more answered my question with the weeb brain of like, is that a more common theme in Japanese films?
It can be. Yeah, I would say it for sure is in like what I've experienced. I can't say it for sure definitely is. What I've experienced, you are way more likely to find a gay character in an anime.
Yeah.
I feel like than in a Western movie. And not as much anymore, but for a long time, yes.
Okay.
It has the comment I made. Yuri is like the category. It is like Yuri is like homosexual or like lesbian romance.
Okay. Yeah, it didn't bother me. It just kind of.
Yeah, no, I get.
I picked up on it, but maybe that was just me being overcritical.
Maybe. Well, I think I've said all the things I need to say about the movie. I loved the comedy. I don't think we talked about the comedy. There were some genuinely really funny moments in this, like
Mostly involving the chair.
mostly involving the chair or the best friend
yeah.
and his car.
The car with,
Yeah,
with
that
the
was pretty
roof,
good.
that was hilarious.
I loved. No, I'd say throughout the whole movie there was good comedy. Like you had them tracking the cat on Instagram and people just posing with it. That's hilarious.
Totally something that would happen, though.
It's cute, yeah, and it is something that would happen. You have her relationships with the people she meets. All of a sudden, she's babysitting,
Yeah.
and like the kids think that the chair is like an AI toy, and they're riding it around. Like there's
What's the weather today?
are the
How are
stock? It's the
stocks
stock
doing?
market up.
Yeah.
There's comedy and good comedy most of the way through this film. I laughed almost at every like moment you're supposed to laugh.
Yeah. We almost had the theater to ourselves.
Almost.
We were
One
three
other
of
couple.
5 people.
One other couple. I don't know if there were a couple. There's a pair of people there behind us. Other than that, yeah, you're right. Almost had it.
Yep. It was interesting.
I was a little not upset. I was a little like concerned when you picked the seats because you went in before me. You sat like 1 or 2 rows more forward than I would have normally. So I was like looking up with my neck, and I got used to it, but it was different, like because I'm used to sitting in like that smack dab in the middle.
Yeah. I tried, but the other people that were in there kind of sat in a weird spot where I feel like you sit the row right in front of people and it's an empty theater.
Yeah,
Be a little awkward.
I should have known.
Should have sat next to him.
Yeah.
I really should have asserted dominance. I should have known something was up when there was no one in the theater because Jujutsu Kaisen was the last anime movie I went and saw in theaters, and it's a prequel movie to a show. Theater was sold out, like packed, multiple showings sold out. Like when you looked online, and it was in Carbondale. I remember we were sitting at Mod's Pizza there in Carbondale, and this group of genuinely, and I'm not making this up, we know one of them. He is a bodybuilder. A group of very like strong looking dudes came into Mod's Pizza. They were going on and on about the fights. They're like, yo, that fight was sick. And then they looked over and one of them saw me. I'm not going to say his name, but he was like, oh, hold on, guys, because I think he knew I was there to see the movie. I was like, yeah, no spoilers. But it was awesome seeing a group of like 10 just jacked dudes leaving Jujutsu Kaisen. And then to go to this one, which is in a cruddy theater with 2 people in it. It's like, oh, I know it's getting good reviews, but
Yeah.
it's a little
Didn't
cringe.
sit well in Southern Illinois.
Yeah. So I'm ready if you guys are. We're at 37. You guys want to start plugging this thing into the rubric? All righty.
I think so.
All righty. Because I drug you guys to this movie, I'm going to start here first with plot. I think most of my points come off for continuity. I'm going to say the plot was the second weakest part of this, and a lot of them get tied up in continuity. When I'm not concerned about continuity or wondering, how does this mechanic work? That doesn't make sense. I did like most of the story. Wasn't great, but I liked most of it. And if continuity was in its own second category, I would take off significantly more. So I am going to go ahead and give plot a 4. Cole?
Okay, so I did not like the love story aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I didn't like that it felt like we reached the end, and then it just kept on going.
Yeah.
It just felt,
I had an epilogue.
yeah. I didn't like that. So I'm actually going to give plot a 2.
A 2. Okay.
Did not care.
Yeah.
Less door, please.
Less doors, please.
Doors. I haven't given it too much thought, but I would say I'm probably a 3. It's just okay. Like I do feel like it was stretched out a little bit. Are you saying that you think the ending should have been when she shoved the keystone in and just ended it there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
That, and also it felt like when,
I think that'd have been a good resolution.
well, also it just felt like only halfway through the movie, like for it being just like a 2-hour movie, it felt like dang Avatar watching it.
It did like the Lord of the Rings thing for sure. If it hadn't been for how much I loved the car ride, I would agree with you. I loved though the car ride scene with like them playing music that was appropriate to what they're doing, and the obnoxious guy singing it. If it hadn't been for how much I liked that, I would have hated the second half.
It seems like when old chair boy, forgot his name.
Chair-kun?
Yeah, Chair Kun. He, like, when he got turned to the Keystone, felt like, okay, well, that feels like it should wrap it up. We've been here a while. And then it's like, oh, wait, we got a whole second half of the movie to go.
Yeah. No, that's valid.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
fair.
I'm gonna go 3.
Okay. I'll go ahead, and since there's only 3 of us, I'll just go ahead and go again. Loop back to me for the characters. I think they were the strongest part of this movie.
I would think so too. Yeah.
Hands down. I'm going to give characters a 4. I really loved all of them. My only real complaint is that we didn't get to really see who Suzume was prior to this movie. We weren't introduced to her in a very good way. And same thing for whatever Chair-kun he is. I liked them both.
Yeah.
But their development was kind of lacking. But all the other characters in the film, the people we met, were explained and introduced very well. Yeah. So I think that aspect was awesome. The main characters were probably the weakest 2 characters in this film. So 4.
Yep.
Cool.
I mean, I really didn't care for a lot of the characters in this. Like, I just didn't get attached. Like, they made it like outside the chair because it's a chair. It's really funny. And the best friend. I really didn't give me much reason to care about any of these other characters. So I'm gonna go with. Do I be just completely ruthless, or do I be kind of nice to it?
Be honest.
You're
like,
honest
don't just tank it for the sake of tanking it.
I'll go
because
3.
It's an anime.
I'll go 3.
Yeah.
So you didn't like meeting all the characters as they traveled across the country?
I just didn't care about the characters. Like,
okay,
that's
fine. Yeah.
Like, they didn't give me a reason to care about them.
I won't disagree with you. That's a valid point.
Yeah. I'm gonna go 4 as well. I didn't dislike any of the characters. I felt I agree some of them were shallow, especially the 2 main characters, which is kind of odd.
They were the 2 most shallow out of all of
them. It was like you knew Suzume's mom died, and that's about it. And then you don't really know anything about the guy besides the fact that he's going to graduate and be a teacher.
Yeah, that's a plot.
Date a 16.
And one
That's a plot point that's brought up a bunch. It's like,
yeah,
you didn't have to have that.
No, not really.
You could have been any career.
I meant to pay attention. I should went back. I wonder, because there was a time skip between he says I have to go and he comes back. I wonder how many years that was. Like, maybe he waited for her to become an adult. Maybe I shouldn't trash on him.
I'm still
I said and marry a 16-year-old.
As far as we know.
Maybe he like waited the appropriate amount of time to not be a groomer pedophile and then came back. I don't know.
I think she's still riding to school though, isn't she? She's in her uniform.
Could have been going to work. You don't know.
In her uniform? School uniform?
Was she in the school uniform?
Yeah.
I
All
think
right.
so.
I give up. You're right.
It's grooming. Come on, dude.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Cool. We discussed this. It's
Pedophilia.
All right. 4 for characters from Josh. Okay. On to direction. Here's where I'm really torn. How much of the plot is Makoto Shinkai? How much of it is writers? How much, like, yes, he put it together, a lot of it. How much do I blame on him for his misgivings? I was going to go 4 because I loved, and I don't know. This is the one I went back and forth on. I loved the visuals.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful movie. If that's where his hand was mostly at, I think it would get a 5. The soundtrack was, while the weakest one of like the big 3 that I've seen from him, still amazing. The comedy and the jokes were good, but the pacing was off. The pacing of the movie was very poor.
Yeah.
We've talked about the continuity and the plot. So I think I'm going to give direction a 4. I'm going to trust that it was mostly because of animation, but I'm really taking off point in the continuity.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going to tank that direction side of things. If the plot had been better, I probably wouldn't feel bad about that 4, but I still think animation and music wise, it's worthy of a 4.
Yeah.
Cole?
This is for direction.
Yes.
I'm going to go 3.
Okay.
I mean, just for the reason you said that music was good, it looked really good, but there's just a lot of the pacing issues and the use of the dang alarm.
Yeah.
As many times. And
supposed to build suspense. Cole.
And the look of the worm, like oh, this is threatening thing. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a monster. Like, oh no, it's literally a worm.
Yeah.
You know what? Hold on. I've never been convinced to change his 4. I'm really not. I'm being.
Did I convince you on to score and not just a score, an anime movie?
Yeah, I'm got to be honest with myself. Like this was one of his weakest films.
Yeah.
I would say actually, out of everything I've seen, Garden of Words, 5 centimeters per second, Your Name, Weathering with You, in this one, I would say this is the weakest film of his I've seen. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. While the animation was beautiful, I have to admit he probably did have a big hand in the plot. So yeah. I'm going to bump it down to a 3. I really am.
Yeah,
I just need. I was stewing on it and I was unsure, and Cole helped me solidify.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right in the same boat that you guys are. It's a 3 from me as well on direction. Beautiful movie, beautiful soundtrack, some good comedy, bad pacing, not great writing, just some poor choices in some of the areas of the movie that were rather important. So yeah 3.
Okay. Continuity. We've talked about it. I don't need to go into it. It was maybe
abysmal.
Yeah, maybe I would get it more if I studied the lore.
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
because I'm American. Well, as you said before the movie, I wish the movie had been in America.
Yeah. It's late, guys. Okay,
it's tired. Okay. I'm gonna give continuity a 2. It's not the worst thing I've seen, but it was lacking in many areas. It did not meet in most areas, so I'm gonna give continuity a 2. Cole?
I would agree with that. I'm also going to give it a 2. I mean, if it had maybe one more, like it was about one more like issue with the continuity away from it being a 1. It's close. But there was a lot of issues, like just stuff not explained. Like just because.
Yeah, and to be fair, like we've talked about many things that like okay, just shut off your brain and enjoy it. But here's the problem. I don't think this was that movie. I think this movie wants you to look for deeper meanings, and it wants you to read into it. It wants you to study it. And maybe one of these days, I'll come back with the third eye opened, Doctor Strange style, and bad CGI on my forehead. And I'll be like, guys, I get it. I get the plot. Yeah. But that day is not today.
And we're not going to believe you that there is no deeper meaning.
Yeah.
Like, I see it now, like, no, you don't.
Yeah. Maybe, maybe I will. You don't know.
Be that scene from Billy Madison.
Yeah, so no, I think a 2 is very justified. Josh?
I'm going to go with 2 as well. It just has a lot of issues. Leaves you scratching your head. Like, how did that happen? Why did that happen?
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Not
great.
All right. Enjoyment for me is a tough one.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll like it. I plan on watching it again when it comes out. Maybe I will like it more in a second viewing. I think while it's his weakest film, I overall enjoyed it. So I was teetering between a 3 and a 4. I have to be real though and admit that this is his weakest work. I went back and forth all day on this. I'm going to give it a 3. It saddens me, but I have to face the facts. It's a 3 for me on.
This is how I felt during Space Jam 2, Tyler.
I know. It makes me. It's so sad.
Cole? I never saw Space Jam 2.
Oh, yeah, it's not missing.
Actually,
you know what?
Stars.
It's
count your blessings.
I mean, it's one of those films where it's like it's so bad it's kind of funny at some points, but
it's really bad.
It's really bad, but it's got a charm to it. It's so bad it's good.
I disagree. I don't think it has a charm. Cole, what do you give an enjoyment?
2.
2.
If I didn't laugh at the chair, it would have been a 1. Because I didn't really like this movie.
Okay, that's fair. Josh,
I'm gonna go 3 and left the theater just like well, I watched a movie.
Yeah,
it was a pretty movie. That's about it. Like it was okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
3. Well, boys, I think this is our lowest scoring one.
Did it get worse than Avatar or Megan?
I don't have those readily available. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I made a new tab. Do you remember what those got? Because this one got a 57.33.
That may be like Megan territory.
It's pretty bad, yeah.
I'm going to make sure I start typing them on the new one here. So, yeah. Suzume? Is that what it was?
Sure.
Suzume.
Suzuki. Kawasaki.
Suzume with an H at the end. 57.3. Wow. Not a good movie.
Yeah, not great.
And it,
according to us, anyways.
I'm crushed.
And we're the only ones that know.
So we're the best at what we do.
We're very humble around here.
Easily the most objective. Yeah. In our After Dark episode here. I usually have like a closure, like, where would you like to see the story go forwards? It's a one shot. I will say most of his other films are all set loosely in universe. And that you see characters from other ones cross over into other ones, which is kind of cool. The only thing I caught in this one was whenever they were showing the cat walking across a beam in some town, they played music from Your Name very lightly over the radio. That's the only correlation I saw between the films, which I was looking for more. Maybe there's more and I just missed it. Who knows? So I normally ask, like, where do we want this to go? I really don't got anything on that, which makes me a little sad. I didn't have a good closure plan for today. So my question for you guys would be, what movie are you guys looking forward to the most next? Because we've kind of run towards the end of, like, we had a bunch of movies playing back to back to back. We're getting close to the end of that. So moving on from here, what movie are you guys looking forward to the most? I think I know Cole's.
It's already out.
Is it Air?
Air, yeah.
I knew it was going to be.
I heard it's really good. Plus, basketball fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Air looks really good, honestly. I thought it looked like a great movie. I'm obviously booked this week and next week. We might have to take a week off, but I'm not opposed to going to see Air late, doing an episode on it.
Yeah, I would like to go see Air.
I'll be down. Josh, what about yourself?
I'm pretty excited for Guardians of the Galaxy.
I forgot about that one.
That's in a few weeks also.
I am excited for that one.
Yeah.
I'm very trepidatious. Like, Thor Love and Thunder burnt me hard. Suzume burnt me harder. Like, I'm getting...
Ant-Man Quantumania? Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, I'm just
It was
getting...
okay.
I'm becoming curmudgeon-y, where it's like, I'm worried I'm going to...
Don't do it. Don't assume every movie being released is going to be horrible. There's people who have that mindset.
I don't assume that. I love the theaters. I'm not assuming it will be horrible. I'm worried it will be horrible. I think that's a slightly different mindset. I want them to be good. And Guardians probably is my favorite, like, of the Marvel stuff. Like, I loved the first Guardians. I really need this one to be good. Especially since the next Marvel thing we get after that is The Marvels. And I'm not trying to sound, like, misogynistic, but, like, because I feel like a lot of people get hate on that online. I just don't think that movie looks good from what I've seen on it.
I mean, it's Captain Marvel. She's dull as can be.
Yeah.
You got Miss Marvel, who's dull as can be. And then you got this other Marvel character who will probably be as dull as can be.
And that, like, so I know that one of them appeared in Wanda, and that's how she got her start. But, like, I don't care for that character.
Yeah.
And then Miss Marvel, has she been in anything?
She had a show.
Did she?
Yeah, Disney Plus.
Totally
show.
missed that.
Yeah,
Maybe
it wasn't great.
if I go watch, I haven't even seen anybody talk about this show.
I haven't either.
It was because I think it came out at the same time She-Hulk did, and everyone was talking about how bad She-Hulk was that no one even watched Miss Marvel.
Yeah, I didn't like She-Hulk. There was a couple funny moments, but I didn't care for it all in all. No, I didn't even know there was a Miss Marvel show. So yeah, and then Captain Marvel. Gosh, this is going to be the most confusing movie in the world to talk about. I didn't care for Captain Marvel that much.
The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't love it.
I don't like Captain Marvel as a premise, but, like,
Superman is what it is.
and that's what I was going to say. I don't like Superman. I hate the idea of, like, someone having undefined superpowers that can just problem solve with brute force and strength, and they're, like, pure of heart and good. Maybe they will give Captain Marvel wasn't as bad as Superman as far as, like, being a goody two shoe. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
There was some character development there, but I just don't like an Endgame. Big ship comes in from outer space. We're doomed. Captain Marvel just flies through it.
Through it. Yeah.
What's the point of having anyone else there?
Yep.
Like, it just I don't like that premise.
That's my big ick with her too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she kind of breaks the power scale,
Like,
just a little bit.
You could just write it in as anything can be solved with Captain Marvel. She does it all.
They literally had to write her out of Infinity War in the first 3/4 of Endgame because
she
she
would have won.
It
It
would
would've-
the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good writing. I don't know. Maybe they'll take away her powers.
You don't got a movie then if you write her in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll take away her powers in this one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't, like, watched a trailer for it. I've just seen some posters, so I don't know.
Something else I'm kind of looking forward to: Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, hold on.
Yep.
That probably is my new favorite movie I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's going to be good.
movies that aren't out. Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
But movies that are currently, I mean, Air. I mean, you just got to go with Air.
Josh has got me. No, like, I'm most excited for easily hands down Spider-Man until he brings up a different movie, and I changed my opinion again. I saw him Googling over there. I was like, he's looking up upcoming movies.
I was, because, like you said, the first quarter of this year was just jam packed with a lot of movies.
We had so many things
that
that
we
Evil Dead
watched
Rise.
a ton, and like a lot of those we didn't even watch yet. Like
Yeah.
we kind of skipped some of the ones that we thought would be decent to watch, like Cocaine Bear, and
kind of glad we skipped Cocaine Bear after what
I heard it was pretty
I heard
trash,
it's bad.
but there was a couple other ones that we originally discussed about watching and didn't because there was so much out.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to go back and look and be like, okay, what else is coming out?
I would like to go watch Creed 3.
Yeah.
I think it's already out of theaters.
But we could rent it, do a movie night, and do a episode on it. I wouldn't be opposed to
Well,
that.
Josh has to watch all the Rocky movies before we can watch Creed.
I think I just need to watch Creed 1 and
No.
2.
I don't think you hold on.
No,
like,
no, it's in the story. You gotta watch all the Rocky
I
movies.
understand the Rocky story,
But you
even though I haven't seen it.
Gotta watch. You gotta get through Rocky to Rocky 3. He fights Clubber Lang. It's Mr. T. Then you gotta go Rocky 4. He fights the Russians, and we win the Cold War because of that.
You're basically just telling me Rocky, so why do I need to watch it?
Because you gotta experience it, Josh.
Cole, I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't seen any of the Creeds. Like, it's a boxing movie.
But there's story.
I'm sure there is.
You gotta-
I'm sure I'll pick up on it.
Especially
But
Creed 2.
9 movies later, is there still really that much callback to Rockies?
Creed 1 and 2 do.
Okay.
How about this? I will watch there's Watch Mojo does a lot of those
Yeah.
like catch you up. I will watch a catch up.
Oh,
video
you're
before
gonna
watch-
set up for Watch Mojo.
No, there's another one out there that's better. It's Movies in Minutes.
Okay,
and
Yeah,
that
you can
one.
do like-
You know what? I'll be okay with that, but we gotta watch Rocky 3 and 4. Those are the two
I
best
will
ones.
watch a catch me up for Creed 3.
No, we could watch Rocky 3 and 4 in the time it would take us to watch Avatar once. Way of Water.
Yeah. Your point?
It'd be 2 good movies rather than one
Meh movie.
trash movie.
Yeah, okay. You're spitting facts, but you know.
Yeah.
Man, okay. So we got a couple good movies on the
Yeah.
horizon.
Couple big ones.
I don't know why this is not movie related, but like all this talks about what are we most excited for? Like I've got like Tears of the Kingdom coming out soon, the new Zelda game, and I'm stoked.
I
for
mean,
that.
I had something this past week and that made me really excited.
What was that?
Metallica dropped their new album.
There you
Nice.
go. Any good?
It was very good.
Very good.
So, Josh, we talked about it Friday, but I have changed where I would rank it. I would put it above Hardwired and Self-Destruct, which was their last album. I'd put this as the best of the Robert Trujillo bass player era.
Nice.
Okay. All right.
Have to give it a listen. Sounds good.
So
Good recommendation.
I haven't listened to Avenged Sevenfold's new thing yet. Was it any good? They dropped a new single.
I didn't realize they dropped something new.
Yeah, after forever they finally dropped a single. But to be honest, I'm not done with Avenged Sevenfold. But the fact that like multiple times I've tried to go see them and they cancel their tours and just fall off the face of the earth makes it kind of hard to like them. So
Or they're on tour with somebody, but like at 3 shows.
Yeah.
That's when I went and saw Metallica a few years ago. It was supposed to be them. It was supposed to be Metallica, Avenged Sevenfold, and Volbeat, but Avenged Sevenfold was only on like 25% of the shows on the whole thing, and they were not at the one I was going to.
yeah, it's hard to be a fan of them. I haven't listened to this single. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. I said that just to say this: when Tears of the Kingdom comes out next month, it comes out in like 2 weeks. I am going to disappear. And you guys will have to dig me out of the office and let me know when it's time to go see a movie.
All right.
Because that's like, it comes out like right as my summer break starts.
Yeah.
So I plan on just like putting on some sweatpants and just curling up in a ball in the office and becoming a hermit, a true degenerate. So,
Worst.
Well, if you've listened this far, sorry we went off on such a tangent. Thank you for tuning in. If you like this, please like it, share it with your friends. We are now on all of the podcast services that I can tell. So if you're listening to this on, say, Spotify and you're interested in Apple or Google or Amazon, we're on all of them now. So go check us out there and have a good day. Thank you.